Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to my channel. My name is Hamid, and today I'm gonna share my experience about the Fatshark goggle that I just bought 3 days ago from nextfpv.com.au in Australia, Sydney, for $750, and it just arrived I think 2 days later, and in the mail. So I used it today, and I thought I should share my experience with other people so they can probably make up their mind whether to buy this goggle or maybe they don't want to buy. So I just want to share my experience. I used to have Skyzone 3D goggles, SKY03, the 3D goggles, which was about, I think, the resolution was 480 by 852, which is really good. I really like that Skyzone goggle, and I bought it about 3 years ago, and I've been flying with that Skyzone goggle and I didn't have any issues. I really liked it. It was very straightforward. Just plug in your battery and your antennas, and it had built-in receivers, which was very good receivers. Didn't have any issue with it. So I had it for 3 years, and I also upgraded the faceplate with the fan one, so it didn't fog, and I like that as well. But I had it for 3 years, and for these 3 long years I really enjoyed it and I loved it, but I just wanted to upgrade to a new goggle because 3 years passed and I thought the technology must have progressed. The technology is a lot better than 3 years ago. As you can see, the ESC, the motors, these flight controllers, everything has changed from 3 years, and everything is getting so technical and so, you know, sophisticated, very good. Everybody's liking them. So I thought I should upgrade to a new set of goggles. So I thought it could be better than my Skyzone goggles. So that's why I spent my 750 Australian dollars and I bought this sucker. And to be honest, I didn't feel much difference from my Skyzone goggles to this expensive HDO goggles. For this amount, for amount of $750, I really expected a lot more. I expected, you know, I knew it was just 37-degree field of view. My Skyzone had 30 degrees. It's just a little bit bigger, but I wish this was 42-degree field of view. And if I know Fatshark, the HD3 has got the field of view of 43 degrees, and that is LCD and this one is OLED. So that the HD3 has a little bit lower resolution. So I wanted to spend my money to get the newest available technology in the market. So I thought, let's get the HDO. It's like new. It's very new technology. It's very, you know, appealing. Let's try it. And $750 is a lot of money, and I thought it's expensive, so it must be very good. A lot of pro pilots has reviewed it, and I've seen, you know, every pro pilot I've seen, they are reviewing HDO, like Lee Drip, Joshua, and you know, you name it. Snake, FPV, everybody's, you know, reviewing these goggles. And to be honest, I haven't seen them flying with these HDO goggles regularly, like their primary goggles. I haven't seen them flying. They just review it. I don't know if they receive it for free. Maybe they receive it for free, receive the goggles for free, and then they review it, and so they can keep the goggles. And they seem to be very excited. So that's why I thought, let's spend my $750 and get the HDO. And though the HD3 goggles from Fatshark is cheaper goggles, but I said, let's get the newest technology. Why not? If I've got the money, let's spend to the newest technology available in the market. And today I used it, and I experienced a little bit bigger field of view, as it should be, because I'm used to 30-degree field of view, and this one is 37-degree field of views. And the reception was good as well. It was as good as my Skyzone goggles, and the field of view is just a little bit bigger. And the sharpness, a lot of people are buying this because it's very, very sharp. Sharp, very, very sharp, like very, very sharp. Like, it should be very sharp. You're spending $750 for an OLED screen, and I thought it could be sharper than my Skyzone goggles, and it could be, you know, a lot better than my Skyzone goggles, because it's expensive goggles. And I thought the first time I put it on, and I would be very, very surprised and happy that I spent my money on this goggles. But it's not like that. It's as good as my Skyzone goggles. I sold my Skyzone goggles just for $250 on internet, and because I thought the newest goggles would be a lot more better. And the other annoying thing about this Fatshark goggle is that when you put it on, you don't see, I can't see, you know, which channel I'm in the inbuilt screen. I'm actually using the Furious FPV True D receiver. You can have a look here. And this is a good receiver. I'm not complaining about this receiver, or the only problem is that I don't see, there are always the channels, always the information on the screen. Anything that I have to do, I have to take off the goggles and look at the outer screen of the receiver. And for $750, it's very, very immature, you know, thing to do. You know, take off your goggle and fiddle with the buttons and try to find where which channel you're tuned to. Like, if you're spending $750, you should have, you know, the service of $750. How can I explain? It's not worth $750. I'm not saying it's not a good. I'm not saying it's not a good goggle. It is a good goggle if you have something like the old Fatshark, like V2 or V3, or Skyzone, the first generation, or if you have for example, the Ishin goggles, or any other generic goggles. If you have, then this goggle is worth to upgrade to, but not for $750. I think the fair price for this HDO goggle is with the receiver, the battery and the goggle, it should be 500 Australian dollars, not more than that. It's not worth more than that. But what you can do, you want the newest technology, and the newest technology that Fatshark can offer is not up to up to, you know, where you want to be, you know. It's, I don't know, the technology is so progressed, technology is so up here, but I don't know why they cannot build better goggles than HDO, and why other companies are not making goggles like better than HDO. And the HDO, what I can say about the fitting to your face, it's a little bit narrower. I got a wider face, and my Skyzone goggle fitted my face very, very properly, very nicely. But these goggles, I have to push it very hard against my face to eliminate all the light leaks around my eyes. And the leather pad, the new leather pad that you can see here, the leather pad, it looks very nice by the look of it, but I like it. It looks very flash, very, you know, very, very brandy and expensive. But this thing actually makes you sweat more because this, I don't think that this breathes. So it's like a plastic against your face. If the weather is a little bit hot, you would be sweating around the faceplate and probably inside the faceplate, and that's in the case of hot weather. And what else I can say? By the look of it, you can see it's very nice. It looks very flash, very, very like nice finish. But actually the FPV pilots want not just want it to be look nice, but it has to perform better than what it looks like. You know, what I mean is it should perform to the standard of what money you're spending on it. And the other thing is that you have to fiddle, you know, you have to, you know, you're buying an expensive goggle, it should have provided you the receiver at least. And the receiver should be a good quality receiver. It's like the Fatshark manufacturing, the Fatshark owner is very, very greedy, my friend. They're applying the tactics of the iPhone, the Apple tactics. So the more expensive your product is, once people know about your brand, so the more expensive your product is, the new product that coming next year or this year, whatever product you are releasing to the market, the more expensive it is, the more people will start buying it, because this is the human nature. If something is very, very expensive, everybody wants to own it, and everybody will be proud of it to have one of that expensive product, because he may look cool amongst his friends that, look, I bought this and it's very expensive, everybody's talking about it. And as far as the pro pilots are concerned, that on the internet you can see a lot of pro pilots are talking about it, they are reviewing this product. Well, I think those people are lying to you. They are showing so much excitement about this product, but they themselves are, I don't think so they are using. Have you seen Mr. Steele? He has not reviewed it, but he's not using HDO goggles. Is Joshua Bardwell using HDO goggles? I don't think so. I haven't seen it. Whenever I see his video, he has got the, the old, I don't know, the old HD3 goggles he's using. But when he was reviewing the product, he was very, very exciting. He was very excited that this product came into the market. And only Lee Drip is using this goggle as his regular FPV goggle, because he is just like me. He had this Skyzone goggle and he was very happy with it. He just wanted to upgrade, because if I'm using this for 3 years, automatically I don't want to use this anymore, because by that time I will have some more money, and I will think that the technology has progressed. Let's buy something else, upgrade. And at that time, maybe Fatshark is again coming up with another product and saying, ooh, OLED, or maybe I don't know what other screen is, and this one is actually 1080p resolution, and this is a lot better than OLED, and this has maybe, what else he can claim, yeah, maybe he put a power button somewhere around here, or the Fatshark probably increased the price. Now it's 750 Australian dollars. Maybe at that time it will be $1,500, and with a higher resolution. But what can you do with the higher resolution when your feed from your VTX is coming just a crappy analog signal? You will see the same, information that your VTX is sending you. You can't, make it any better. And so in another 3 years, maybe Fatshark is giving away his product, the new goggles, to all these pro pilots, and everybody's pretending to be so excited, and probably they could have, done this with a 42 degrees field of view, but they didn't want to, I think, because they have to do it on their next generation product, so they can sell those ones. If this one is 37 degree, what other, excuse you have with your next generation product to sell to the market, to the public? What can you advertise it with? Like, probably you're gonna bring higher resolution, which is useless anyway, because your VTX is giving just the analog signal, and probably 37 degree field of view is gonna jump to 42 degrees field of view, and everybody's again, oh my god, 42 degrees field of view, and it is probably 1200 by 800 resolution, and it has got a power button. Give me your 1500 suckers. So that's the market. I think who can build the best FPV goggles? Well, I think no one can, unless the person who is building the FPV goggles is one of the pilots, one of the pro pilots, or someone who is in this business, like who enjoys flying FPV, who has experience flying FPV, and who is into racing or freestyle FPV flying. That person can bring the next generation the best goggles. But unfortunately, the people who flies FPV, they are not the product owner, they are not the businessman, they don't have probably enough money to bring a new goggle into the market. And so in my opinion, who should buy this goggle? In my opinion, someone first of all, who has spare money, of course, spare money, that who wouldn't care, you know, about $750. And second, someone who is as a starter, you know, starting on FPV and looking to buy, you know, quality products, but someone who else can buy, someone who can who is looking to upgrade from, you know, Ishin or some. I haven't used Ishin, but it looks, because Ishin looks so cheap, probably it's not good. I don't know, maybe it's good, but who can buy these goggles? Someone who has a crappy goggle, basically. If you own a Skyzone, never mind, don't buy HDO. Your Skyzone goggle SKY03 is same quality, same resolution, same clarity as the HDO goggles. Don't bother spending your money on HDO. Just keep your existing goggle and wait for the better technology. And I think, never believe the pro pilots when they are reviewing a new product, because I think they get those products for free. So how can they talk crap about the product that you're getting free from the supplier? If someone gives me this goggle for free, I would love it, you know. It's a good goggle for free, but not for $750 when I'm upgrading from already existing good goggle to this one. So the conclusion, buy this goggle if you have spare money and you're just excited to buying something, you know, a brand that everyone's talking about it. When you put on this goggle and you go amongst the other FPV pilots, it's probably only you, or maybe at least another person. If there are 15 people, maybe it's only you having this HDO goggles, and everybody come up to you, how is this goggle? Oh yeah, it's very expensive, it's good, yeah, and you look cool amongst them. Apart from that, there's no other benefit from the HDO goggles. It's just a cash guzzler, you know. When you're spending that amount of money, 750 Australian dollars, it should have at least the receiver from Fatshark or anyone, you know, and should also have the antennas. It should basically come ready, plug and play. Everything should be there. Not that you just buy the screen and then look for, you know, receiver, and then look for antennas, and then I don't know, yeah. I don't know why they don't put the power button in it. Are they so stupid? Every electronic product has a power button, and these stupid didn't bother putting a power button in it. I like this goggle. I just don't like it because I like it, but not as much, because it's just as good as my Skyzone goggle. I spent that money, expected to be better than my Skyzone goggles. I wanted to upgrade, not just, you know, buy another goggle, another set of goggles. These are the same antenna I used to use with my Skyzone. And this cooling fan, it's a little bit slow. My Skyzone goggles, when I turned it off, mate, it just flushed all the fogs in like microsecond. Everything is clear. But this one, the fan is not as powerful. The fan does not. It's a little bit slow. I hardly can hear it. And what else? At least they should give him a SD card. There was nothing inside. I'm just complaining because I'm sick of greedy people. Anything that you want to buy to enjoy, there is a greedy man behind that product, and he's trying to, you know, rip you off. And you know, see, yeah, a lot of nowadays, a lot of businesses, a lot of product manufacturers, they are following Apple strategy, like the same like Apple. Every year they are bringing new phone to the market, they're adding something useless to the phone, and then they advertise everywhere and they push the price higher, so it's almost out of reach of a lot of people. But that's the mentality of people nowadays, that the more expensive the products goes, everybody wants it. If someone can afford $1,200 and another phone comes in next year with the price tag of $1,600, that $1,200 dude will definitely buy the $1,600 phone, because that's the mentality. Why he would want to buy that? Because he thinks it's expensive, it's cool, and that's the newest technology. But it might be the newest technology, but my only complaint is that you feel like rip off, you feel like a fool. You buy that $1,600 phone and you look at it, it's almost the same as the $200 phone, but you bought it for $1,600 because you don't have a fucking choice. And for example, the iPhone X that I'm video recording now, it cost me last year $1,850. But this phone, I bet it's not gonna, the manufacturing cost for Apple is, I don't think so, it's more than $400 for this phone. But why should they sell it for $700 to make $300? Why should they sell it for $700 when they can manipulate people's mind and sell it for $1,850? And once you are known as a brand to the people's mind, everybody would try to buy your product. That's the mentality, and these companies keep ripping you off. HDO, it's a good company, but it's not as good as it should be, because these HDO manufacturers, the Fatshark manufacturers, maybe not as smart. It's some person, someone, you know, invested a little bit of money. He thought that people are gonna buy the goggles, because at that time when Fatshark started, there was no competition for him. Same as now, there's not much competition with the Fatshark, because other manufacturers, they're not thinking, how they can't think, they're so stupid. Even if they ask me, I can give them suggestion how to make a lot better product than the Fatshark. But the manufacturers keep coming with the shit box with the price of gold. All right, up to you, my friend. If you want to buy HDO, buy it. I'm not saying it's very bad product. I'm just saying it's not as good as the 750 Australian dollars. It's not actually 750. Like, you buy the Furious, the receiver, the price gonna go $860, $862. You buy the antennas, the price gonna go up to like $900 to $1,000. But this product is not as good as the price tag. It is the newest technology, but it's not it shouldn't be that expensive. You know, today's standard, when you have this much cheap technology all around you, you can see, you know, like 20 years ago, you know, if you came up with a quadcopter with the same technology as today, you would be, you know, followed by the spies of the government. You would have been, you know, kidnapped and taken to the, you know, some unknown location and forced you how you made this and blah blah blah. But today, see, a person, I'm not a scientist, but I can build a very good, you know, quadcopter, FPV quadcopters, airplanes. And today technology is very cheap and also available. Information is available everywhere. I'm just surprised why they can't make better, you know, FPV goggles. And they just came up with the HDO, and I thought it should be very nice goggles. You know what I mean? Nice goggles is that it fits your face properly, and the fan, at least, you shouldn't have to plug in, you know, you shouldn't have to plug in this. Once you plug in the power in there, and then you should be able to operate it from the Fatshark itself, you know, from the goggle itself. And also you should have power button, and the screen should not be 37 degrees, it should be 42, because you're not going backwards, mate, you're going forwards. Why you go backwards when your price is going forward, motherfucker? When your price go high, your product shouldn't go low. When your product, you know, your price goes up, your product standard, you know, all the specifications go higher. And people just buy HDO because there's no other competition. Everybody else is so stupid than the HDO manufacturers. All the other manufacturers, they don't have a brain, you know. And Skyzone, I love my Skyzone goggle, and what I can say, I'm gonna keep using it for the next, you know, 2-3 years until another set of goggles comes up, and I hope until then someone come up with a better idea, better specification for the goggles. So when they put the price up, it should worth it, not that they just get you money for nothing. Anyway, now that I've bought this goggle, I'm gonna have to love it, because at least this goggle is as good as my Skyzone. Anyway, how do I look like this? Can I drive like this? It's very expensive goggle. How about if I just walk to the shopping center like that? Would I look cool? What about if I go for a date like this and I never take these goggles off? Would it be a successful date? You reckon? It's expensive.